Oh, it's been pretty good. We had obviously Coach still had his hands on the program. The guys did an unbelievable job of working hard for us as assistants, but it was fun. I think it was a great experience for me, and hopefully it'll help me out in the future.
As a follow to that, what was Saturday like when he did come back and kind of was in some ways like the voice from Oz shouting from above?
Well, I think it was great. The guys were excited to see him. We were excited to see him. Obviously, he hadn't missed a lot of days. I've been here for 17 years now, and just never seen Coach not at practice or not around the office. So it was a little weird. So when he walked in there, it's good to see him.
Next, we'll go to Kyle Austin from MLive.
Hey DJ, good to see you. Just wondering, when you're actually out there running practice, without coach, how do you balance kind of, running it kind of like he would, and then kind of, being yourself when you're there? Is that kind of a balance to do?
The best part about it was Coach said, "Don't look over your shoulder. Go out there, do what you got to do, and you feel comfortable. You know what you're doing, and do whatever you have to do, and be comfortable in doing that." And that's what I tried to do. Obviously, we talked a lot after practices. Coach watched the practices, and he told me some things that he saw and thought that we could do better, and those were the things that we tried to correct the next day.
From WLNS next.
So Laurie kind of took my question a little bit, but Coach, when it comes to you being in the position to have the entire program to yourself, what were kind of the day-to-day things that were kind of things you had to work through and things that you were able to manage as you learned day by day about having that head coach position?
The biggest thing is, as an assistant, you just come in and you know what you have to do. Come in, you watch your film, you scout, you talk to your guys, your position guys. As the top guy, you got to come in, you got to think about everything. So you have to think about how you want to play in practice. You have to think about guys that you want to bring in to talk to a little bit before practice gets going. There's just a lot more goes into it, a lot more thought into the daily going on, and it was easy because Dane's been here for a while and G's been here for a while, and obviously Doug's been a head coach, so our meetings were very effective, and I feel like we got a lot done.
Thank you.
Next question's up is from Larry Leach from the Associated Press.
What's up, DJ?
Hey, Larry.
What players do you think have made the greatest leap, I guess, over the offseason or from last season? What players do you expect to make a big step with a larger opportunity?
I think obviously Aaron had a heck of a summer in the preseason for us. Joey Hauser, a lot of people haven't seen him yet, other than in practices last year when he was on the scout team. I think Foster Lawyer and Rocket have both been playing extremely well. I think people will be surprised when they see those guys. I feel like they look a lot different than they did last year. Rocket's making plays for his teammates, and I feel like Foster is handling pressure a lot better than he did last year, and he's a little more comfortable. It's not when Cassius is on the bench. It's easy for you to look over your shoulder. And I think he was doing that a little bit, and I think he's a lot more comfortable this year.
Next, we'll go to Matt Charvin from Detroit News.
DJ, good to see you. I did want to ask a little bit about that continuity, having you guys being together for so long. I'm sure that made the transition a little smoother. And then as a follow-up to that five position, that kind of front court in general, after a couple weeks now, do you have any more clarity on how that's going to work out, or is it still kind of a let's get the games and see who kind of rises to the top, I guess, a little bit there?
Well, it's funny. I feel like we have 7 starters right now. Thomas Kithier's been playing well. Marcus Bingham's been playing well. Joey Hauser. Then you got Rocket and Josh and Foster, and all those guys can be starters. We're just going to kind of play it day to day, and put the team out there that we feel is going to be best for us, and know that we have 2 very good players coming off the bench.
Coach. Brendan Shabat from WDBM Sports. My question is similar to Matt's, but you guys have a very deep front court this year. You mentioned that there's a lot of guys that seem like they could be starters. Is there anybody standing out in the past month or so of practice as like the main guy in that front court?
You know, it's funny. I wish there was. We feel like they all have their moments. You know, there's days where Marcus looks unbelievable. There's flashes that Madi Sissoko has shown in a short time, and Thomas is probably the most solid and the closest thing that we're going to have to Xavier in terms of being in the right place defensively. And then Malik has done a heck of a job as well. So I feel like they all have had their moments, and just trying to get them all to be a little more consistent.
Next question's up from Kyle Austin from MLive.
Hey DJ, obviously we haven't been able to be there and see you guys like we would in a normal preseason.
Mhm.
But it's been so different preparing through the summer and now. I mean, how would you gauge like how prepared this team is compared to a normal, 2 days before the season? Be able to kind of get what you need to get done.
Well, I feel like that's one of the things that Coach prides himself on is having his team prepared, and I feel like that this team is as prepared as anybody that you're going to see in the country to this point. Obviously, we're trying to get better every day, but we feel pretty comfortable with how the guys have been working. They're spending a lot of time in the gym outside of practice, and that's all you can ask for as the head coach. And I think the guys have been coming in doing that.
We'll go next to Chris Solari from Free Press.
You kind of touched on it a little bit with Malik, but how flexible can you guys be with in terms of playing guys in multiple positions? I mean, could Malik play to get minutes in particular? So could Malik play a 3-4? Can Gittier maybe play 4-5? I mean, how many different combinations do you feel like right now you guys can use?
Well, there's no question that Malik is probably our most versatile player, both he and Joey Hauser. And Malik has played some on the wing, and we've also gone with a small lineup with Joey and Malik at the 4 and 5. So we can throw a lot of different looks at people. I think we'll be able to match up or match down to anybody, and it's one of the things that I think is going to benefit us in the long run, that we can play so many different lineups.
What about Gabe in that as well? Because I mean, he seems like a guy who can probably play between 2 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, we could slide Gabe down or over to the 4, but we're just trying to keep him on the wing and you know, let him do his thing and be comfortable. We feel like he's been shooting the ball as well as anybody on our team, and we just want to give him those opportunities on the perimeter. And he's one of our best runners.
We have time for a couple more questions. We'll wrap it up first with Stephen Brooks and then go to Graham Couch.
Hey, DJ, I hope you're well. Just given the state of this season and how fragile things are, I mean, even today, I think some programs were shutting down. How important is flexibility and that ability to adjust on the fly going to be for all teams this year? And for your team, you know, do you think that without having his other past couple weeks sort of hammers that home, that anybody could sort of, you know, be coming and going at any time with the guidelines for this season?
Well, there's no question it's going to be a different type of season, and you know, Coach having to be out for a little bit, I feel that will help us in the long run. But as a staff, when we met early in the year, we said whoever handles COVID the best is going to determine a lot of championships across the country. And I think you're seeing it at the pro level. When you watch football or the NBA playoffs, the teams that have handled it the best have been the teams that have won the championships. So we're just trying to take it day by day, do the things that we have to do. We feel like our medical staff has been unbelievable, and they have us prepared, and they have us being safe. And, you know, if we do what we're supposed to do as coaches and players, I feel real comfortable with where we are.
Thank you. Last question for Coach Stevens is from Graham Couch.
Hey, DJ, have you figured out your starting 5 yet for Wednesday night? Is it Rocket, Josh, Aaron, Joey, and then you have the big figured out?
So right now, like I said, I think we have 7 starters. So to answer your question, we have not decided who's going to start. We could start both Rocket or Foster at the point. as the bigs, we have 4 or 5 different guys that we could start, but we for sure have 7 starters right now, and we'll figure that out tomorrow probably.
Lastly, just Eastern Michigan. Obviously it's the zone, which is your a weird type of matchup to come into. They've got the Ann Arbor Pioneer kid who transferred from Holy Cross. I'm just wondering, what of anything that they do that you're concerned about?
Well, our biggest concern is obviously the zone and taking care of the ball. We feel like if we take care of the ball, we can get some good looks, and we have a lot of guys that can shoot the ball. Obviously, they have a lot of new players, but they also have a lot of experience. So we know they're going to be a lot better than they were last year, and we've prepared the guys, and the guys know that. And we've done our due diligence in terms of preparing, and we'll be ready Wednesday night.